As a whole, how did kind of going abroad change you as a person, right? Because I mean, you're a big supporter of it ever since getting back. You say everyone should go,
Hmm.
right? Why do you say that?
Well, I think like one for me, I was a little nervous. Obviously, it's like a big change to go abroad. You're in a new environment. Um, but I think when you get there, I think it's interesting when you talk to people that went abroad and studied abroad or just went to travel for an extended period of time. You just know like there's a connection there because when you're abroad, you realize how small everything is. I was so absorbed in the bubble last year of Eugene, Oregon, just all the things involved, like Greek life or school. It's just you don't realize how small it is. And when you're there, it feels so big that like your world revolves around where you are.
Right.
And when you go abroad, you realize everything is so much bigger and your life is so small in comparison and you kind of appreciate things. So as I went abroad, I was traveling and I was seeing all these different things. And when I came back to Eugene and came back home to Orange County, you really appreciated the smaller things. You appreciate your friends, you appreciated your home, you appreciated where you worked or your day-to-day routine because it was different and it's unique. You go to Europe and everything's different and you appreciate what you had. And I think it just opens up your outlook when you go abroad. You kind of see different perspectives and you grow as a person as you expand your outlook and perspective. So that's why I would recommend it. You kind of, grow your mind and how you process things and how you look at things. I think that's my main reason. Also, it's really fun to go abroad and just go to the pubs, especially, and this is London specific because a lot of pubs in London.
Yeah.
You just bond with people who are going through the same exact thing and the same exact process. So I would 100% recommend anyone to go abroad, even if you're not studying, just open your horizons and your expectations of the world because I really had a narrow perspective and you realize that after going abroad.
Yeah. One of the things that I found from my experiences doing very similar travel trips, right, is you have to kind of find your group early or you have to just hope the group is cohesive as a whole. What advice would you give to people that are going and to make sure they do that because they have to make the most of it, right? Because I completely agree, but you kind of have to find your people pretty early or it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah, there's two sides to it. It's interesting. It's kind of like a game almost. I'm a big Survivor fan. When you get there, there's like 40 people and you kind of want to like find your alliance right away. Like who can I hang out with? Who can I travel with? Like what's the mindset? And at least in my experience, it was kind of very split, like gender wise. Like all the guys kind of like grouped up together and the girls kind of had their own little separate things. And that was fine to the start. I think to your point, like, yeah, it's good to find people right away to like bond with, and everyone wants to do that. It's not very hard to find a group at the start when you're abroad with other people that you haven't. I went in pretty much blind. I hadn't really known anyone going. I've met one or two before, like briefly, but everyone's in the same boat as you, and that's important to understand. Especially like even going to college for the first time is like everyone's in the same boat. They want to have friends. They want to get a group together, and that's okay for the start. But I think like as you progress, you really start to really pull back the curtains a little bit on who you're hanging out with. I think there's like a need and an instinct right away, like a survival instinct, fight or flight. Like I need to find someone to hang out with. Like I need to do all these things. But as you're continuing to do it, like in any social setting, you're pulling back the curtain. You're finding out who you really connect with and who really people are to you. So that's also another exciting opportunity with abroad is you really get to connect with people deeper. Because you're in a new environment, you're bonding over that. It's like kind of a bonding experience, and then you're kind of finding things out about each other as you go on. So yes, I think it's important if you're going abroad to like understand the need to find people. But again, I think you can find the people over time. It doesn't have to be a gut reaction. A first person you see, that's my person.
Right.
That's okay for like a week, but I wouldn't stop at that. I think it's important to continue to meet people and find things out about people because first impressions, I think, are fine, but they're not everything.
What are some of the coolest things you've learned about the human mind or human nature from studying and diving deep into psychology?
The coolest things.
Or that interests you the most?
Yeah, I think I've taken a lot of developmental courses just because of my interest in my profession, like how people develop. I think it's the biggest thing that I've learned, like the major concept is your genes and your environment and create who you are. But along with that, like people always say, like, oh, so-and-so started out like this. but that doesn't necessarily mean that they end like this. Because I think there's a big misconception where you start in like a lower environment, you're going to end up lower.
Yeah.
And you learn in psychology, there's two concepts, equifinality and multifinality. And equifinality is when everyone ends up in the same boat no matter your start. That can happen. But I think people need to realize is no matter your start, you can always end up better. I think that's a big thing that I've realized is, sure, like your environment, your upbringing, your environment informs who you are today, but you can always alter that and change that through, your thinking and what you put yourself to and how you kind of set yourself up for success. So I think that's a big thing that I've learned is, your past doesn't always dictate your future. You can always grow as a person.